November 11th, 1943, 0530 hours. Bougainville Island, Solomon Islands. A heavy jungle mist clung to the forward defenses of the 3rd Marine Division at Empress Augusta Bay. Staff Sergeant Thomas Michael Callahan lay prone behind his Springfield rifle, the cool steel of its stock pressed against his cheek. His eye rested steady behind the unertal 8x scope. To his left stood something that no tactician on earth would have called a weapon. A dented Campbell's chicken noodle soup can, both ends cut away, a small hole punched into its side, perched on a stick in the dirt. 15 yards away, at precisely the angle he had calculated the night before, the can awaited sunrise. At 0547, the first ray of morning light struck metal. A razor-bright flash leapt across the clearing, aimed perfectly at a cluster of palm fronds concealing a Japanese observation post 700 yards away. The beam held for 2 seconds, just long enough. Callahan nudged the stick an inch. The reflection shifted. 700 yards distant, a Japanese observer noticed the strange flicker. Curiosity overrode training. He shifted for a better look. Just 3 seconds of exposure. Callahan fired once. The observer crumpled. It was the first kill of what would become the most devastating 5-day sniper operation in the Pacific War. Before it ended, Callahan would chalk up 112 confirmed kills, rewrite Marine sniper doctrine, and paralyze an entire Japanese regiment, armed with little more than a rifle, a mine for misdirection, and a pile of discarded ration cans. Callahan's journey to Bougainville began 6 months earlier at Camp Lejeune. A Montana farm boy and lifelong hunter, he'd enlisted right after Pearl Harbor. During a routine rifle qualification, he caught the eye of Captain Harold Morrison. While other Marines ignored crosswinds, Callahan waited an extra 15 seconds before each shot. He scored 48 out of 50 at 300 yards with iron sights. "You hunt before the war?" Morrison asked. "Elk, mostly. Some deer." "How far?" 700 yards with my daddy's .30-06. Iron sights. Within days, Callahan was bound for Scout Sniper School at Camp Pendleton. There, Gunnery Sergeant William Henderson taught him the psychology of sniping. Your rifle is the last resort. You kill for effect, psychological effect. Callahan absorbed the lessons quickly. His final stock test lasted 9 hours, creeping unseen within 200 yards of instructors. He rose only after his mock shot, startling evaluators who had never spotted him. "You're good," Henderson said afterward. "But stop thinking like a hunter. The Japs aren't elk. They adapt. The sniper who survives is the sniper who never repeats himself." Callahan arrived in the South Pacific in July and fought as regular infantry until tragedy struck on November 8. His spotter, Corporal James Rivera, raised his binoculars for a heartbeat too long and was killed instantly by a Japanese sniper hidden 600 yards away. Callahan sat silently beside his friend's body for 30 minutes. Mourning, calculating. Artillery was pointless. Assaulting the tree platform was suicide. He needed the enemy sniper to expose himself. As he ate a can of chicken noodle soup that night, sunlight hit the empty tin and flashed across his foxhole. Callahan stared at the can. Then the jungle. Then back at the can. 15 minutes later, he was pitching his idea to Captain Morrison. "You want to use soup cans as bait?" "Not bait, sir. Confusion. They expect movement, sound, muzzle flash, not random reflected light." Morrison, desperate to stop the sniper bleeding, approved the experiment. Before dawn, Callahan placed 5 soup cans around a clearing, each angled to catch the sunrise. By pulling strings he'd rigged, he could control which can flashed and when. At sunrise, the cans lit up in irregular sequences, brief flashes, long flashes, unpredictable flashes. 20 minutes later, a Japanese soldier stepped out of the tree lean, confused by what looked like American signal communication. He raised binoculars. Callahan's shot hit him at 480 yards. The Japanese responded with 50 mortar rounds, on the wrong location. The cans remained untouched, flashing silently. That evening, Callahan presented his results to Lieutenant Colonel Michael O'Brien, who immediately saw the operational potential. 15 Japanese snipers were active in the sector, killing Marines daily. "You have 5 days," O'Brien said. "A security team is yours. Kill as many enemy snipers as you can." Callahan focused on one target, the master Japanese sniper who had killed Rivera. Hidden in a massive tree with 3 firing platforms, he was disciplined, patient, and nearly impossible to locate. Random flashes wouldn't fool him. Callahan devised a new gambit: fake a forward American command post. His team marched with radios and map cases, deliberately visible. Meanwhile, Callahan arranged cans to mimic signal traffic between the command post and the front line. From a Japanese intelligence standpoint, this was gold. At 11:23, Callahan finally spotted the slightest unnatural shift in the tree's foliage. An opening darkened, someone settling in behind it. He calculated wind, 8 miles per hour. Range, 712 yards. Hold 2 feet right, 30 inches high. At 11:27, the enemy rifle barrel appeared. Callahan fired. 2 seconds later, the Japanese sniper slumped forward and tumbled through the branches. Marines later found a detailed logbook documenting 53 kills. Callahan had eliminated one of the Japanese 6th Division's finest marksmen. The Japanese quickly realized something unnatural was happening and ordered soldiers to stop investigating mysterious flashes. So Callahan escalated. Instead of random flashes, he built plausible tactical deceptions. Fake coordination between patrols. Simulated artillery spotting. Mimicked communication networks. False attack preparations. Japanese doctrine demanded reconnaissance. Japanese fear demanded caution. Callahan weaponized that contradiction. On November 13th he recorded 27 confirmed kills. On November 14th, 31 more, his deadliest day. Captured diaries revealed the psychological collapse. The Americans use demon light. Men vanish when they investigate. I no longer trust what I see. Heavy clouds ruined the reflection technique. Callahan adapted again. He filled ammunition cans with pebbles, hung them in trees, and ran strings to create remote-controlled noisemakers. The Japanese, hearing what sounded like American movement, exposed themselves to investigate. By afternoon, Callahan reached his final tally. 112 confirmed kills, with 97 independently verified by observers. One officer wrote, "Enemy sniper activity in this sector has collapsed." Callahan was pulled off the line and sent to recover. Doctors diagnosed combat exhaustion. 5 days of unrelenting focus had exacted a heavy toll. At headquarters, he wrote a detailed report. The Supkin technique succeeds because it targets enemy psychology, not enemy equipment. The Japanese must investigate tactical signatures. Create false signatures, force exposure. By early 1944, Marine sniper teams across the Pacific were using refined versions of his methods. The Corps eventually issued polished metal signal plates specifically for deception work, direct descendants of Callahan's soup cans. He spent the rest of the war training snipers at Pendleton, teaching them creativity over routine. The rifle is a tool. Your real weapon is the ability to think differently. Callahan was awarded the Navy Cross in 1945. He returned to Montana after the war, becoming a teacher and coach. He rarely spoke of Bougainville. In a 1978 interview he said, "People care about the number. I don't. What mattered was saving Marines. Necessary isn't the same thing as proud." When he died in 2003, his obituary focused more on his decades as an educator than on his wartime achievements. Today, his Springfield rifle rests in the National Museum of the Marine Corps beside 3 rusted soup cans recovered from Bougainville. The plaque reads, "Ordinary objects. Extraordinary thinking." Callahan proved that ingenuity, more than equipment, wins wars. He didn't outshoot the Japanese. He outthought them. He changed the game.